Level 1. The Observer. You think spying begins with danger, guns, chases, secrets, whispered in dark alleys. But it actually begins in silence, a fluorescent hallway, a badge that still feels too clean in your hand. The air smells like carpet glue and burnt coffee. Nobody looks at you for longer than a second. That's the first lesson. Invisible isn't dramatic. Invisible is boring. You sit in a room with no windows. A screen glows blue against your face. Files scroll endlessly. Names you cannot pronounce. Cities you will never visit. At least not yet. Your job is simple. Read flag patterns. Notice what others ignore. Hours stretch. Your back stiffens. Your eyes burn. Outside, the world moves freely. Inside, time folds into paperwork. You expect secrets immediately. Instead, you learn patience. Intelligence work isn't action. It's doubt. Every detail might matter, or nothing might matter. You never know which until it's too late. A supervisor walks behind you without sound. You feel it before you see it. Evaluation never stops. Every keystroke recorded. Every hesitation noticed. You are not trusted yet. Not even close. Then one day, you flag something small. A phone number repeated across unrelated reports. Probably nothing. You submit it anyway. Hours later, your access level changes without explanation. No congratulations, no praise. Just a quiet shift. You realize someone has been watching you the entire time. And suddenly, the boredom feels dangerous. Because now you're being invited deeper. Level 2. The Trainee. Training doesn't look like movies either. No dramatic speeches. No heroic music. Just exhaustion. Controlled failure. Psychological pressure disguised as routine. You wake before sunrise. Cold air bites your lungs as you run across gravel paths. Instructors never raise their voices. They don't need to. Disappointment carries farther than anger. You learn surveillance detection routes. Walk 3 blocks. Stop suddenly. Enter a store. Exit through another door. Watch reflections instead of faces. Glass windows become mirrors. Every stranger becomes a question. You feel paranoid at first. Then you realize paranoia is survival wearing a different name. They teach you how to lie without lying, how to answer questions with truth that reveals nothing. Your mouth speaks calmly while your brain splits into layers. One layer talks, one layer watches, one layer prepares an exit. Sleep becomes fragmented. Dreams feel monitored. Even jokes are analyzed. Someone always asks why you laughed. Then comes interrogation resistance. A chair, bright lights, silence stretched until your thoughts grow loud enough to betray you. They don't hurt you. They don't need to. Time becomes the weapon. You discover your own weaknesses before anyone else can use them. One trainee breaks. Another quits quietly. Nobody mentions them again. Their lockers empty overnight. You learn the second lesson. The agency doesn't punish failure. It erases it. At the end, you receive a new title. Still junior. Still replaceable. But now, you know something unsettling. You're no longer pretending to be someone else. You're learning to disappear from yourself. Level 3. The Analyst. Your first assignment isn't overseas. That surprises you. You expected foreign streets. Instead, you monitor from home soil. Safe distance. Controlled risk. You analyze human behavior, travel patterns, financial anomalies. You watch strangers through metadata alone. Lives reduced to timestamps and coordinates. You never hear their voices, yet you know when they lie to their spouses, when they panic, when they plan something irreversible. Power arrives quietly, terrifyingly quietly. You start predicting decisions before they happen. That realization unsettles you. Humans are patterns pretending to be free. One night, an analyst beside you freezes mid-sentence. A connection appears between 2 unrelated networks. Your pulse accelerates. The room changes temperature. Supervisors gather without speaking. Screens multiply. You realize intelligence isn't about information. It's about timing. Knowing something 5 minutes early can save lives or end them. Your report moves upward, faster than anything you've submitted before. Hours later, news breaks publicly. An arrest, a prevented attack, faces blurred on television. Nobody outside knows you were involved. You walk home through ordinary crowds. People laugh. Traffic hums. Someone argues over coffee prices. The world feels fragile now, like glass held together by secrets. You expect pride. Instead, you feel distance. You know too much about how close chaos always is. Then you're called into an office you've never entered before. A passport waits on the table. And suddenly, the work becomes real. Level 4. The Field Officer. Your cover identity feels heavier than your real name ever did. New history, new education, New social media footprints, aged years overnight, photographs you never took now belong to you. You rehearse memories that never happened until they feel authentic. The plane descends into a foreign city at night. Orange lights stretch endlessly beneath clouds. Your stomach tightens. No instructors now, no safety net, just you. The air smells different when you step outside. Diesel, rain, unknown languages overlapping like static. Every sound feels louder because consequences are no longer theoretical. Your job is simple on paper. Meet a potential asset. Assess reliability. Build trust slowly. Nothing dramatic. But every interaction carries weight. A wrong glance, a repeated route, a careless word. Any mistake could expose not just you, but networks you'll never even meet. You sit across from the target in a cafe. Cups clink softly. Steam rises between you. Conversation begins harmlessly. Work frustrations, politics, shared complaints. You listen more than you speak. People reveal themselves when silence invites them. Hours pass. Nothing happens. That's the point. Days turn into weeks. You become part of the environment. Shopkeepers recognize you. Neighbors greet you casually. Your fake life becomes routine. Then one evening, the asset asks a question they weren't supposed to ask yet. How do I know I can trust you? Your heartbeat becomes thunder in your ears. Because trust is the moment everything becomes irreversible. And you realize recruitment isn't persuasion. It's mutual risk. Level 5, the handler. Handling an asset feels like balancing glass over concrete. Every meeting carries tension beneath politeness. You guide conversations carefully, never pushing too fast. Fear must belong to them, not you. You learn to read micro-expressions, a twitch near the eye, a pause before answering. Doubt appears physically before words reveal it. Payments are subtle, dead drops, encoded messages, routine disguised as randomness. The city becomes a chessboard only you can see. Your asset grows nervous. Surveillance increases across the city. Police checkpoints appear unexpectedly. News reports mention foreign interference. You feel pressure tightening. You run surveillance detection routes daily. Turn corners suddenly. Change transportation. Watch reflections in train windows. Every stranger might be watching. Or maybe none are. Uncertainty becomes constant noise. Then your asset misses a meeting. No message, no signal. Hours stretch into dread. You replay every conversation, every decision. Did you push too fast? Did someone notice? Finally, contact arrives through emergency protocol. A single phrase confirming danger. Extraction is impossible. Headquarters instructs distance. You must cut contact. You sit alone in your apartment staring at a burner phone that will never ring again. That's when you learn the cruelest rule. You are trained to build relationships you may have to abandon. And tomorrow, you will be expected to start again as if nothing happened. Level 6. The Operations Officer. Now you run operations instead of single meetings. Multiple assets, multiple risks. Sleep becomes negotiation rather than necessity. You coordinate movements across cities you barely see. Messages flow through encrypted channels. Every instruction you send could expose someone if miscalculated. Responsibility feels heavier than fear. You notice how easily lives become strategic variables. One asset compromised may protect another. One sacrifice may preserve an entire network. You hate how quickly you begin thinking that way. A crisis unfolds overnight. An asset is detained unexpectedly. Local authorities suspect espionage. Headquarters asks for assessment, rescue attempt, or denial. You review intelligence repeatedly. Sweat gathers at your collar despite the cold room. If you intervene, exposure risk spreads. If you don't, the asset faces prison alone. The decision lands on you. You choose distance. Hours later, confirmation arrives. The asset confessed nothing, but they disappeared into a system you cannot influence anymore. Your chest tightens. You feel responsible, even though protocol supports your decision. You understand something new. The agency doesn't require emotional detachment. It slowly teaches it through necessity. And as promotions follow, you begin to see the larger machine moving above individual stories. Level 7, the Station Chief. You return home temporarily, not as a trainee, as leadership. Meetings replace fieldwork. Screens replace streets. Yet the stakes feel larger than ever. You oversee missions across continents. Reports arrive at all hours. Conflicts overlap. Political consequences weave through intelligence decisions. You learn that espionage is never isolated from power. Lawmakers ask questions without wanting full answers. Diplomats negotiate outcomes shaped by information you helped gather. Wars tilt quietly before headlines ever appear. You brief officials in secure rooms. Your voice stays calm while maps glow behind you. Every sentence must balance truth with uncertainty. You realize intelligence rarely offers certainty, only probabilities strong enough to act upon. One misjudgment could trigger international escalation. You feel the weight physically, like pressure behind your ribs. Agents in the field become voices instead of faces. You worry about them anyway, especially the ones who sound too confident. Confidence often precedes mistakes. Then, an operation collapses unexpectedly. A leak somewhere, unknown origin. Assets vanish. Communications go silent. Suspicion spreads inward. Because at higher ranks, threats don't always come from outside. Sometimes the danger sits inside your own organization, and now you must investigate without knowing whom to trust. Level 8. The Counterintelligence Chief. Counterintelligence changes everything. The enemy no longer hides across borders. The enemy might share your hallway. You review colleagues' histories, behavioral changes, financial anomalies, emotional stress patterns. You analyze friends as potential traitors. Conversations feel staged. Laughter sounds rehearsed. Every interaction carries hidden evaluation. You begin questioning yourself, too. Did you miss something obvious? Did your trust allow damage? A suspect emerges slowly. Someone respected. Someone experienced. Evidence builds piece by piece. Nothing definitive alone. You arrange surveillance quietly. Digital monitoring. Physical observation. Psychological pressure through subtle interviews. The confrontation happens in a room colder than expected. No shouting. Just facts placed carefully between you. The suspect denies everything calmly. For a moment, you almost believe them. Then, confirmation arrives through encrypted channel. Undeniable proof. Watching security escort them away feels surreal. Years of service erased in minutes. You expected relief. Instead, you feel hollow. Because betrayal isn't dramatic. It's quiet recognition that loyalty is never guaranteed. And higher ranks demand you keep moving forward anyway. Level 9. The Strategist. Now, strategy replaces operations. You help shape global priorities. Regions become focus points. Resources shift like tides. You see how intelligence influences history without appearing in it. Young recruits remind you of yourself, curious, idealistic, unaware of the emotional cost ahead. You wonder whether warning them would help or only burden them early. Briefings grow shorter. Decisions grow faster. You rely on instinct, built from years of uncertainty. Then, a major crisis erupts. Multiple nations involved, conflicting intelligence streams, time shrinking rapidly. You must recommend action despite incomplete information. Silence fills the room as leaders wait for your assessment. You speak. The outcome unfolds weeks later across news broadcasts worldwide. Analysts debate motives. Commentators argue causes. None know how close events came to unfolding differently. You watch alone, realizing the strange truth. The higher you rise, the less visible your impact becomes. Recognition disappears entirely. Only consequences remain. And eventually, even you begin to question whether secrecy protects the world or isolates you from it. Level 10. The Director. The final rank feels nothing like victory. Your office overlooks a city that never knows your name. Years compress into memories you cannot share. Stories locked permanently behind classification. You walk through corridors where new recruits hurry past, unaware of the decisions once made here. You carry ghosts of operations, faces of assets lost, missions successful but costly, choices that still echo at night. Retirement approaches quietly. No ceremony visible to the public, just paperwork and non-disclosure reminders. You realize something unsettling. You sacrificed recognition for influence, identity for purpose, truth for stability. Was it worth it? You step outside one evening as rain begins to fall. Cars rush past. People check their phones. Life continues, unaware of hidden battles constantly fought beneath its surface. For the first time in years, nobody watches you professionally. No evaluations. No encrypted messages waiting. Freedom feels unfamiliar. You understand now that every rank was never about power. It was about perspective. At the lowest level, you believed spies changed the world through action. At the highest, you see they change it through restraint, through decisions never made, through disasters quietly prevented. You realize the real transformation wasn't the missions. It was you. You entered wanting adventure. You leave understanding responsibility. You thought secrecy meant hiding from the world. Instead, it meant protecting people who would never know your name. And as you walk into ordinary life again, blending into crowds that no longer feel fragile but precious, one final truth settles in. The greatest success of a spy is not being remembered. It's living in a world stable enough that nobody ever realizes you were there at all.